So the original release of Metal Gear Solid 1 came with some tutorial VR missions. That's where the idea for the VR missions came from.
I'm surprised you didn't notice that.
It's all about the angles. They only had like 10 sneaking, 10 sneaking with a weapon, and then 10 sneaking with a time trial, and that was all you had to learn, like, just the basic mechanics to how the game worked. And that was what was built eventually into the Metal Gear Solid VR missions. So the way it works is there's 15 sneaking without a weapon stages. All you have to do is get to the goal. If you get an alert, it's an automatic game over. It just restarts you. First, you have to play through practice mode, which gives you unlimited amount of time to get it done. And then you unlock time trial mode, where you do it as fast as possible without getting caught. And generally, it keeps the same layout, so you can do practice mode to practice, and then go try to get the best score in time attack mode. So the basics of the sneaking VR missions teach you things like line of sight, how you can crawl to avoid enemy patrols, and things like this, which is a loud tile. If we stepped on that while walking, it makes a loud noise and causes any guard within earshot to turn and face us.
So no Owl or Zanzibar Land theme items you can use?
Not in this one. We will eventually do sneaking with items and equipment.
Ah, so when we pull out the cigarette?
Actually, yeah, I think they do give you cigarettes for this one.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, there are a few items in the game that let you see the IR beams. The most basic of which is the cigarettes you come equipped with. Which means somebody in the Metal Gear Solid universe had to program a virtual reality cigarette. And because in these missions we only have one fail condition, which is get caught, we don't actually have a health system, so we can smoke all we want and never die.
Hitting the infrared beams just makes the guards turn towards you, or...?
It's instant fail.
Ah.
This is one of my favorite VR missions because it's just how silly it looks. We never really get anything like that in the actual game with a bunch of like waist-high walls.
You don't infiltrate the Shadow Moses Island Museum and duck behind display cases like that while two parallel guards start walking up and down?
No, but eventually Snake will probably have to pull off a diamond heist, and he'll do the exact same thing.
You didn't get a shaft grenade to short out those cameras.
Yeah, the only item they give you is the cigarettes and the cardboard box.
Shaft grenade's not exactly a weapon.
I'm pretty sure that there's no chaff grenades in all of VR.
That doesn't prepare you for anything, oh no.
The Foxhound scientists could just not comprehend that chaff grenades would ever become useful. And they're wrong. There is one time in the game where I will use them.
So it's an explodable confetti ball?
It's for celebration, yes.
We're not programming this in.
Snake, if you want to celebrate, you're gonna have to do a fist pump in the air, and that's it. That's all I'm giving you.
If you beat all of the VR missions in first place 20 times, you replace all the first, second, and third with your own score, you unlock the shaft grenade fist pump.
You unlock unlimited chaff grenades in VR mode. And you get to play as Liquid Luigi.
Searchlights are just like laser, instant fail?
Yeah, they only appear once in the game, and there are no guards around. They do cause an instant alert, though, just like a security camera. Put together everything you've learned except for the infrared beams and the footprints and the
security
box.
Camera.
No, there's a security camera.
Oh, is there?
Maybe it's just in the timed version, actually. But there is one. Yeah, I think it's just in the timed version. No, there it is.
No. You gotta pull out your cardboard box.
There was a path we could take through the ventilation system to pop out behind that guard who's up on the platform, but there's no reason to actually take it. It takes forever to crawl through it. So after you clear one of the missions in practice mode, you unlock the time trial variant of it, which just means you have to get to the end within a certain amount of time. In addition to the limit, which is just an instant fail if you reach that time, you can go for first place. Nothing is unlocked by getting first place times in any of the VR missions, it's just something to do for bragging rights, so of course, I'm gonna do it. The quickest way to get the best scores in sneaking mode is to get by just on the skin of your teeth. If you had to stand there for another 2 seconds, you would be caught. But since we reached the goal, it's okay.
Excellent, Snake.
If you have the optimal path, a lot of times you don't have to interact with guards at all. You can run full speed towards the goal if you go the right direction.
I'm sure in Shadow Moses Island they always give you a blueprint of the top down.
What was that noise?
You can also save time by distracting a guard through passive means, like footprints or walking over
Stepping
loud.
on squeaky sand.
Yes, that squeaky snow I imported
From Japan.
from the Japanese mountaintops. Notice that the blind spot on cameras is a lot larger than it looks like in the Soliton radar. And even with that, it's really hard to actually get first place in a lot of these. Even if you know exactly what to do, actually pulling it off is quite difficult. Like, if I spent any time flipping that guard over my shoulder, he would probably get up and see me, for one, and two, I wouldn't make it into the goal in time. Gotta turn around to get my hitbox into that thing at the optimal time.
Excellent, Snake.
I could have probably just crawled for it, but it's really fun to hit the D-pad because Snake turns on a dime using the cardinal directions. Even though the game does support analog stick, I prefer to control Snake with the D-pad in this game.
This guard's visions are really limited.
Excellent, Snake.
And that's what the VR missions are designed to teach you, is how to get around the game's limitations and how to use them to your own advantage. Like this.
The ability to freeze time.
Yeah, it's also hard because you can get caught in areas here where you spend a lot of time waiting for the cameras to move if you're in an unsweet spot.
Excellent, Snake.
The cameras can be over you for 20 seconds and you'll run out of time. This mission was constructed poorly because if you're running up against if you're running up against that wall, they can't see you. So they can't see your footprints.
So that doesn't make any noise to the guards.
It does make noise, they're just so accustomed to hearing it.
Excellent, Snake.
I think it's actually physically impossible to get a guard on top of one of those in the game. Like, they refuse to go within the bounds of those. See, here in the practice mode there's only one guard, but now there are two! And that's how I learned how to use the knocking maneuver.
Excellent, Snake.
If you try to knock there, it takes forever to get those guards to go there, because when you knock, only one guard can hear that knock, whichever guard is closest. So you actually have to knock 4 times to get those guards to run out of position.
Excellent, Snake.
I like that Snake still has cold breath, even though it's virtual reality.
That's attention to detail. See, one of the other guards did hear me flip that guy, but by the time he got there, I was long gone.
Excellent, Snake.
Now can I put together everything I've learned to sneak through here in about 10 seconds?
Huh.
Yeah. I forgot he just that fist
Excellent,
pump.
Snake.
And that's all the training we need to beat Metal Gear. We've learned everything we need to know.